Hey guys, we're back with another video. I haven't posted one in a while, and I just want to give you guys some information. We're back, we're back in business, ready to do this. Today we're going to talk about 5 different things that I wish I knew when I first started lifting. So let's just get straight into it. I don't know how to start this off, but yeah. So number one, the first thing I wish I knew was that you don't need to max out every single week. A lot of people try to max out every single week, and either the squat, bench, deadlift, or not even those lifts, just in general. They try to max out every week like they're gonna get stronger every single week. And yeah, it's just unrealistic. I mean, if you're doing it for the short term, you can hit like small PRs and stuff like that. You can hit little small PRs and get your bench up a little bit to try to maximize your strength, your kind of peak phase. But like over time, that's not sustainable. You're gonna kind of plateau because you're not building more of a base. Because when you build like actual muscle, like you're doing the hypertrophy for work, you're basically building a base for like to get stronger. You're building the potential to get stronger, because building muscle and how strong you are, they have a correlation, but it's not a direct correlation. Like the correlation between them is like basically the more muscle you put on, it's like how much your ceiling is to get strong. So every time you're done with the peaking phase, you have to go back to the hypertrophy phase to keep building that muscle so you can get even stronger and have that base to build it. It's almost like trying to build a house without any bricks if you just keep having the peaking phase the whole time. Like you need like the base to get to that strength level in the first place. Another reason why it's not good to do that is because because it can lead to fatigue and like injury risk and stuff like that. Because if you're constantly putting your body under that load all the time, like near max weight load, it's not good for your body. You could either get injured, tear a pec if it's bench, or you're gonna overtrain. You might actually lose strength because you're doing it so often, and it's not really good for your body at all, or it doesn't really benefit you. So a good way is to like put together a plan to how you're gonna do it, and kind of follow it that way, and just like go off of that. So that's the first tip, because you don't want to be maxing out every single time. You kind of want to build up to it, like have a plan. Like before the program even starts, literally just sit down and write a plan of how you're gonna get to your max, or what things you need to do week by week to get there. So maybe week 1 it'll be 8 reps, or in week 2 6, or whatever, however you want to do it. It's like there's many ways to get strong. There's not just one way to get strong. There's a lot of ways to get strong. So whatever works for you, but make sure you have a plan and stick to it, and don't just be maxing out randomly. All right, so the next thing that I wish I knew was when you're starting to build your workout plan, the way you want to structure it. Like I just talked about how you should do that in the first place. Like you should be making a plan regardless, but the way to do that more in depth is like you want to start with low volume. Like you don't want to start with like a ton of volume, and again, for the same reason as the first one, you can potentially overtrain and fatigue yourself, and you won't get stronger or build muscle. So you want to start with low, because you can always add more, because it's kind of like with food, with cooking. Like we know when you cook, if you don't put enough of something, like let's say you don't put enough onion, you can obviously add more if you need more. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess you could take, onion is not the best example, but any like ingredient, if you put too much of it, it's way harder to take it out of the actual, like out of the dish, than to actually put more into it. So it's better to start off low and then add more if you need it. So it's kind of the same thing with lifting. Like when you start low, if it's not enough for you, like your body's ready to go more, you can handle more volume, and it's still energized for more sets and stuff like that, then what you can do is just add another set, or add more reps, or add something more, or another day or frequency for your workouts. But if you're going too much, it's a way harder setback and a harder process if you go too much. Like if you're doing too many workouts and you just feel always like weak and tired and just sore and not recovered, you're gonna have to take a deload, and you're gonna have to take like a couple weeks just to get back to where you were, and to rebuild your strength, and to rebuild your recovery, and make sure your muscles are recovered. So it's better to just add as you go, and then once you find the sweet spot where you're like, oh yeah, this is kind of taxing me, but it's not too much. Like I still feel fine during my workouts. I feel just enough like recovered. Like I'm recovered like enough to get the workout done where I feel stronger, but I'm not like overdoing it. You know what I mean? Then that's kind of the sweet spot we're gonna find. But that's kind of like where it comes down to you, because again, everybody's different. So what's enough for your body can be different from what's enough for my body. So you just gotta play around with it, and keep adding over the weeks as you go, and you can just find your sweet spot through trial and error. All right, yeah, this next one is actually a really good one because a lot of people still don't understand. Like, some people have been lifting for years and they still don't get this one, even including myself. Like, I've just started working on this like recently. But anyway, let's get to the point. Let's get to what it actually is. So it's about actually like figuring out your form before you start going heavy. So like, if I've been in the gym for a while and let's say I never deadlifted and my form is terrible, like if I'm deadlifting and I go straight to a 1 rep max and I don't know how to do the movement properly, I can get hurt really easily. So obviously you can look up YouTube videos and like make sure your form is good by, replicating, pros who do it, watch different like pros who know how to lift and know how to do the movement right. But start out with light weights when you're first starting to lift if you don't know the form yet, and make sure you're getting the form good, because later down the road you're gonna appreciate it because your form's gonna be picture perfect and you're gonna be lifting heavy at the same time. You're gonna have both of them. But if you just go straight to heavy right now, you're not really learning the form, and yes, you might be pushing heavy weight on that movement, but I mean your form's not gonna be that good, and you're not gonna feel that good about yourself because you didn't do the lifts properly, you know what I'm saying? But if you have both, and then once you get it down, go to heavy lifting, you're just gonna be way better. You're actually not gonna get hurt, and it's just gonna be look way smoother and be way better, Like, I wish I knew that, because I literally what was I gonna say? Like on squat, like when I first started, even like recently, not even just when I first started, but recently, like I don't even go all the way down. Like I hit 410 pounds on squat recently, and I didn't go all the way down to 90, but I kind of felt good about myself. But like, for me, it felt like I didn't even like fully actually do it, or I didn't count it that much, because it's like, oh, I didn't even get to 90, you know what I mean? Like, it's not as good. So now what I'm starting to do now is lighten the load and then try to, get obviously past 90 and exaggerate that depth. So once I do start going for the 1 rep maxes again, I'm just used to, like, I'm in the habit of just going all the way down. So that's definitely something you want to incorporate. But yeah, don't even touch like 1 rep maxes until your form is good, Just get like good work in with higher rep stuff, get good fatigue, and try to build muscle through it, and learn the actual movement. And then once you're ready and your body's prepped for that, and nothing's hurting, everything's going smooth, and then you can start going to those heavier RPE 9s, 2 rep maxes, stuff like that. But yeah, so the next one is prioritize sleep. I want you guys to understand this. Sleep is so important. Honestly, I've come to realize through my experiences that sleep is literally probably just as important as the training itself. Like, literally, if you're not getting enough sleep, like, your recovery is gonna be so bad. You're gonna feel tired the next day. Your next lift isn't gonna be good, You're gonna be really weak and feel really weak, You're still gonna be sore from your last workout because you didn't get the recovery if you're consistently not getting sleep. And you're overall just gonna be worse for you in general. Obviously, like the daily recommended for sleep is like 8 hours, which is a good rule of thumb. You should probably get around 8 hours. But if you do, you literally feel so much better about yourself. You're like, dang, I got 8 hours of sleep, and you feel so much confident going into your workout, rather than if you got like 2 hours or 3 hours of sleep. Then like you're gonna feel like, dang, like I'm not recovered, like I didn't even get sleep, and then you're not gonna be confident that you're gonna have a good workout. And it's just kind of like, it's just worse for everything. Not even just lifting. Like, sleep is not only bad for lifting, it's literally bad for like literally everything. Like, you don't even focus as good when you don't have enough sleep. You're in a cranky mood, like you're not recovered, you're not rested up, you hate the world, you just want to go back to bed. Your sleep schedule gets messed up, which leads to unproductivity all day because you're sleeping in. And it just kind of is not good for you. Just make sure you're going to bed early. I've had times literally where I've hit legs and I would have 4 days to recover, okay, until my next leg day after, because I usually take about 3 to 4 days to hit that same muscle group again. So literally I wasn't sleeping, I was staying up late, doing whatever. I was playing Clash Royale, okay, yeah, that game's addicting anyway. But like, I was playing that and I wasn't really getting a lot of sleep. And even though I had 4 days to recover, since I wasn't getting a lot of sleep, my legs were still really sore on the next one. So I had to take another, I had to skip another leg day because of that, because I wasn't recovered enough. Because if I would have just went in that workout, I would have overtrained and it wouldn't have been optimal either. So it kind of just screwed everything up, and then I had to skip a leg day over it, and I wasn't recovering fast enough. So you really have to prioritize it, literally. Like, maybe one bad night won't kill you if you get like 6 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, like one night. But if you're doing that every single night, it'll catch up and it'll add up. But just make sure the majority of the nights you're getting at least 7 to 8. Wait, was that 5 tips? I don't remember. Well, yeah, I don't remember how many tips I gave you guys, but if that was 5, then there's 5 tips for you. I don't know, I'm out of tips now, so I don't know if I give you guys 5 or not. I thought there was 5, but I just kind of gave you guys what was on top of my head. But But yeah, I don't know if those tips were any helpful for you guys. I don't know if those even benefit you. If you're a beginner lifter, it might help you even more. But if you're an advanced lifter, you might have been like, oh, I know every single one of those things. I didn't learn anything. This guy doesn't know anything. Like, okay, I get it, bro. I was just trying to help people who might have not known, to help their muscle growth. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys found these tips useful. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.